So recently, I went back to my home country, Ireland. Apart from seeing friends and family, there was one main reason I went back: to host a marketing event in Dublin. So we had about 30 people come to the event, people that have worked with me inside my mentorship program for a very long time, and some people that just found the event on Instagram or YouTube. So what I did for that event was I brought together a load of guest speakers, people that could provide an insane level of value, people who are doing 7 figures a year in the marketing space, but I also took it upon myself to give a talk. And so for about 40 to 45 minutes, I talked on 4 key topics that I feel, if I can give that to you, will help you master social media marketing. I delved into some mindset topics. I delved into how I've gained over 2 million followers across social media channels like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And also many of the mistakes that hopefully you can avoid that cost me way too much money and just held me back from getting results faster. And if you want to check out the full vlog from the mastermind event, check that out on the channel. I posted it not so long ago, and you can watch the behind the scenes of the day. So guys, I was thinking about what could I cover. I did a speech last year at our first event, and I talked mainly on mindset. So I'm going to talk on mindset today, because again, I think that's so important. Again, as I started with that analogy of me being nervous, I think that's really key to know, because everybody is in this game to an extent. If you're not, fair play to you. Maybe you can give me some lessons, teach me how to control that. So I am going to talk on mindset, but I'm going to start off with, for any of you that are new, like why I truly believe social media marketing is the best business. Okay. So for those that are new, just a little reaffirmation of this does work. Then we're going to touch on marketing mistakes that have costed me too much money to count. That will probably save you a lot of money and make you more money. 2 million follower blueprint. So I've got a decent platform now on my social media, but for clients as well, we've used a lot of strategies to obviously grow their pages. So I'm going to walk you through the blueprints, okay? TikTok, Instagram, what I post, why I post certain things, and how you can kind of just use that for your clients. There's certain things I do now that we wouldn't have done, say, a year ago or 2 years ago. So hopefully I can give you some good insights on that to get better results with your clients. And number 4, the most difficult but most impactful decision I've probably ever made running a business. Jordan, welcome in. Good to see you. All righty. So the bones of it is I want you to win. Winning isn't easy. Okay, we all know that. But I think sometimes we think it's easy, right? Because we think I can get the blueprint, and then I have the blueprint, and then it's all easy. And it just happens. No. You have the blueprint, you have the info, you have the knowledge, you got to go and actually implement it, do what needs to be done to make it a success. You see, otherwise we would all be winners just naturally, right? Like you would have won all the races on school sports day. I don't think I won any, right? It's just reality. You know, I would have won the marathon I ran with Jordan actually a year ago, but I didn't. We finished, but we didn't win, right? You'll see more of Jordan later, by the way. So even if we don't win, maybe we can do ourselves proud, right? Because you don't have to be the best. You're going to hear from people today like Jordan, who has merged his company with another company, and they do over $1 million a year, soon to be probably multiple millions a year, right? You're going to see people like him be like, Jordan is just a born winner. You know, it's just natural, happens for him. No, he started as we all did, right? But he started with first just getting a client, one client, and 2, and 3, and so on, okay? So this is my message is maybe you just want to make an extra few grand a month. Maybe you want to build a business that gives you more freedom. Maybe you just want to, help clients, like actually make that impact, you know, like have a client. Because I know that's a fear, right? You get a client, and what if they don't get results? What if they give me a bad review, etc. So you can do all of that. But if you want to do that, the first thing you have to get clear on is why and what, okay? So get clear on what you want, because you're going to hear people talk about what they're doing today that are doing like, you know, big numbers. That's really inspirational. But you have to make sure that's your goal, right? You don't have to do what I'm doing. You don't have to do what Jordan is doing or Dave's doing. Figure out what you want, first off, then why you want it. Some of you might have seen this video. I was telling Dave about this earlier. So I found this video.
24th of June, 2019. But yeah, your goal is kind of that month. Do not get stuck in a rat race. You point to that by be disappointed. Disappointed because you want to have patient independence, time independence, and product financial impact. And those are 2 key things. With very positive there, and I look back and I'm like, shit, I didn't do that. And that okay, I'll be fair. Well, from 2019, we did it.
So that is just a reminder of what I said. You have to declare what you want. So that was me in 2019 declaring what I wanted. Did I know how I was going to do it? I hadn't a fucking clue, right? But it was like, having the courage and the balls to just say, fuck it, I'll figure it out, right? So I made that video for myself. I never put it anywhere. I only found it this year. And then I was like, fuck it, that would make a nice piece of content, right? Because people will see old me, big old haircut. You know what I mean? Funny to see. But you have to do that. I really need to make that clear, because if you aim at a business like this and it's very willy-nilly, like I don't know what I want. I just want to get a client and see from there. You might do really well, but most cases you know you have the vision. Yeah, and you have to start with the vision. And then you got to break it down, because me in that video, you'll notice I said, don't get a job, basically. That was the first thing. I then mentioned why I wanted it. Okay, like location independence, time independence, financial. But I didn't say have a coaching business with events, right? So you don't actually have to know exactly what it's going to be, but there has to be a vision, okay? And what you wanted, I find that's the key, because there's a lot of things that I do now that, look, when I started, I didn't actually think I would do or want to do. Like doing events like this, I didn't ever really imagine that. Where now I do it, and it's cool. I like it. So, was it easy? No. Was it worth it? Hell fucking yes, right? That's the message. Now, for those of you who are new, social media marketing works. Okay, you're going to see that today. You're going to have loads of proof, right, of all the guest speakers. These are just some wins we had. I just took these, as you see, as I made the slides at the end of August. Like, just to show you, like every single day, the average now is I'm getting about 2 messages a day of wins. And as some of you know who send me wins, you don't send me every win, right? You might just say, hey, Adam, 4 new clients in the last month. So when you do the maths and you look at the community, we've got a couple of hundred people in there. We're probably looking at 100+ wins a month, right? And I want to make that very clear, because it does fucking work. The model works. I know you all know that. But even when you start something and you believe it, there's still probably a doubt. There's still a, will it work for me, right? Or are all these people special, gifted, and talented, and it's not for me, right? So I know when I started, I thought that. It's not saturated. I hear this all the time. It's the number one objection I get about the program, is social media marketing saturated? When I started in 2019, it was saturated. Like, there was YouTube videos. You can go back, SMMA 2019, there. Guaranteed there's videos. Guys saying it's saturated. It won't last. It won't work. Proof. Okay. Clearly it's not. And I think it's good to just get a reminder on that, because again, if you're starting this is probably what you're going to think. Even if you don't think it, you'll see a video of somebody else say it, an authority figure, right? Who probably did really well with a different business. So just know, it still works. Yeah, we've had over 140 people make minimum 5K a month at this point. People doing upwards of like 40, 50K a month as well. As you see, we do the awards. So something for those of you who are just starting as well, something to, I guess, aim towards when you hit 5K a month. I'll send you one of these. Just shoot me a message. I'll send it out. When you hit 10K a month, 20K a month, happy to do it. Okay. I know Johnny has his award, which we'll see on his slides later. So look, this is the only business I would start, guys, really, genuinely. Obviously, now I have a personal brand. We do the events, the consulting, the coaching, all of that. And yes, I love this business. It's not like I would go back and do an agency today. But if you were to take the personal brand away, take away the audience and all of that, this is where I'd fucking start. Social media marketing. Couple of clients, manage their social media. That'd get me back up to 2-3 grand a month. Happy days. I can head off to Thailand and live a nice life. Right? Happy days. Cool. So you can travel while doing this. Again, this is just a reaffirmation. I know some of you know this, all right? But look, we've had people like Kai quit a job he absolutely hated back in 2023. And then I did an interview with him just last year, and he's still bloody traveling. I was like, fuck yeah, that's cool. 2023, quit, moved to Milan. Year later, another interview. Where is he? He's in, I think it was Thailand when we did this. Yeah, Thailand. Doing like 100K a year. All right. You can travel. You can use it to kickstart another business. This is Atlanta. Someone in the program got to like 2-3K a month. Did what I mentioned, as in quit her job, just traveled, lived a nice lifestyle. Spain, Portugal, places like that. And then, yeah, you look at her now, and she's not even doing social media marketing. She's doing coaching for musicians. It's a very different business, right? But you look at the fundamentals, it's all based on social media marketing. She knew how to speak to clients, how to close deals, how to do invoicing, how to hire people, how to build an audience, how to get results in social media. That's how she now has this new business, right? So even if you don't want to do this long term, that's fine. Like, I didn't think I would have a social media business, for 20 years. That was it. Was like, hey, I'll do it for maybe a year, 2-3 years, make some money, get some skills, and then go from there. Maybe start something else. And yeah, look, the skills you learn here are, I think, the most sought after skills. Okay. So along the way, I have made many, many mistakes. Okay. So, I've seen a lot of mistakes in people we've worked with. friends, peers of mine as well, but I've obviously made a lot of those mistakes as well. And that's very important to know, again, because none of us are perfect. This is part of the game. You're going to fuck up, you're going to lose clients, you're going to get that bad review, part of the game. Okay, it's going to happen. If you're striving for perfection, you're going to hold yourself back. You know, this event, you guys saw the message this morning. I was like, fuck, I forgot a bloody tripod and I forgot a microphone. The guys pulled through. Thank you so much, Stephen, Dave, the lads, sorting me out. But like, that's, I think, the literal visual definition of nobody's fucking perfect, right? Like, you just have to start this thing and get moving. Okay. So now I'm going to go into some of the marketing mistakes that have cost me too much money. So number one is you need to know when to shift gears. Okay. So I've seen people in the program get to 10K a month with one offer, one outreach method. Okay. So for example, social media management with Upwork as their way of getting clients. Okay. I've seen people do that, but I've also seen those same people then later go to a completely different offer and a completely different outreach channel. And you're thinking, that doesn't make sense, right? Because if it got you to 10K a month, why would you ever change it? But there's certain parts in business where you do need to change gears. Okay. What got you from 0 to 10K a month might get you to maybe 15K a month, but it might not get you to 50K a month if that's your goal. Or maybe what got you to 2K a month mightn't get you to 10K a month. Okay. So the key point is knowing when to shift, but also knowing that you can get to 10K a month with one thing. All right. Because this isn't an excuse then to just start fucking shifting all the time. You know what I mean? Like, this is the reality that you can just run one thing to a certain level, but then you do need to know kind of how to view the situation to know if you shift. So for example, Alvi in the program, a lot of you have seen him. He did Upwork. He got to 10K a month with that. Then he went and switched over to Instagram outreach. Why? Because he wanted to have a narrow niche. He wanted to work with fitness coaches and have a more productized service. So instead of having clients ask for different things, he just wanted, look, I offer one thing, one price point, one type of client. Okay. So then he used Instagram. He got to like 15K a month-ish. And that was him knowing when to shift. So could he have gone from 10K a month to 20K a month with Upwork? I believe he could have. But did he want to? Did it make sense for the long-term vision of what he wanted the business to be? No. Okay. So I think knowing this is very, very key. The second lesson I want you to have is to not run away from your numbers. Okay. So I was on actually one of our 7FA calls 2 weeks back. Yeah, we did a profit and loss statement with a guy in the program who hit like, I think 5K a month. And I was like, fuck man, 5K a month, unreal. Like, how's the profit looking? You know, how are we doing? We realized he was losing money. That sounds a bit mad, doesn't it? Making 5K a month, but like revenue, right? Like the profit was minus. Like he literally lost, I think it was like 100 that month, which is not good. Okay. He was in fact basically paying money to run his agency. He wasn't tracking his exact numbers. And I say this laughing because, you know, it can seem funny, but at the same time, like, that's a serious fucking issue, right? Like, no business should work like that. So what I want you to do, even when you're just starting, okay? So like, even if you don't have a client now, have your template set up, all right? Get a spreadsheet. We have one in the program. You can, you know, find one online as well. Very basic. Get a spreadsheet, open your bank account, you count what goes in and what goes out, okay? You'll also see here, I'm saying not contracted revenue or like expected revenue, because some people will track it as like, oh, I've got these leads that are about to close now. Just like the actual cold hard cash, okay? What came into the bank, and track that, okay? To give you kind of a breakdown just on this guy, like this situation, look, it was a few things done wrong. He was overpaying his team where he wasn't paying, for example, with content creation, he wasn't paying per piece, but he was paying like hourly rates and things like that. So people were just racking up like basically big bills with him where he could have paid a lot less. Okay. So that was number one. Number two for him was he was running ads to get clients. He didn't need to because he got to, I think, like 4K a month without ads with Upwork. And then he started running ads and it was working because his calendar was booked out. He was getting clients, but his cost to get these clients was really fucking high. Like, it was costing him to get these clients, but he was delighted being like, oh, everything's moving, I'm scaling, this is great. But he's losing money. Okay. So just at all stages, make sure you're actually tracking, because look, revenue is cool. I know, Adam, you said it's a lot. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. And it's the facts. Like, Adam will touch on this later, but he's got 2 businesses and like one is 10 times bigger in terms of revenue, but it makes the same money as the other business. Right. So like, if you're doing this, like how I started, you know, I didn't do this to lose money. I didn't do this to make $5,000 a month and spend $5,000 a month. Right. And, you know, that's illogical to me. So make sure you're tracking this. Might sound silly, but this guy just wasn't tracking it enough. Okay. And so then he got into that phase of just pushing too much growth, too many clients, and then losing money. Okay. So again, even when you're just starting, like you've no clients, you've one client, track that shit, track that. Know exactly how much is going in, how much is going out. Because if there's any point where we're losing money, we need to have a chat. Because something's off. Number 3, guys, build toward your goal, not mine. Okay. So some of the students in the program hit 10K a month with profits as high as like 80%, 90%. Okay. So they make 10K, they profit 8 grand, 9 grand. There's many. There's some that probably profit 10 grand. They do everything themselves. There's others in the program that operate with a lot lower profit margin, like 20, 25, 30%. And it's not that one is right and one is wrong. Okay. I know I've put green on the one in top and red on the one on bottom, just to draw your attention. It's not about that. It's about different goals. Okay. So you got to get clear again, as I mentioned at the start. What are you building for? Like, know your goal, not mine, not Adam's, not Dave's, your goal. Okay. Get clear on what that is. So when I started my agency, 2 big priorities for me. 1, strong profits and cash flow. And then 2, run independently of me. That was the framework, the goal. So could I have, for example, had higher profits, but be more involved? Yes. And made more money? Yes. But worked more hours. On the flip side of that, could I have automated way more, outsourced more, and done basically nothing each day, you know, have people doing everything? Yeah, but then the profits would be way lower. So that for me was the key. Had to have the 2 things and the balance of the 2. Okay. So yeah, okay. So hopefully that makes sense. And again, guys, if there's questions on this stuff, we'll do a big Q&A at the end. We'll be chatting on the day, so don't worry if there's any little details that you want to pick on. The goal today is to network, to meet you guys. Okay. Number 4, I want you to write your manifesto, know your why. Everybody really probably has 1 to 2 hours a day to build something. Like I could find right now 1 to 2 hours a day to build another business. I could, for a fact. I know I could. Because if I look at my screen time, there's probably time I do spend where Laura sees this all the time. I'll post a TikTok video and then I'm waiting for it to post and I'll scroll for 3 videos. You know, like this is just the game. This just happens, right? So could I be rigid? Could I get way more disciplined, find that 1 to 2 hours? I know for a fact I could, 100%. But I don't want to right now. Like I don't want to build another business. Okay. So I also don't need to. Okay. And it doesn't fit the why. I have a why. I'm achieving the why right now. Happy days. Do I need to have another business to, again, fill somebody else's why? No, I don't. Because what I'm doing is working, right? Again, I want this to be clear again. So if you're starting, the time is there. We got to get clear on exactly how we do it. And if you do have a business and you're thinking, oh, I need to do more, go back to your manifesto. Do you need to do more? Because again, this guy where he was running the business and losing money, that's kind of, I think, what would have happened with him is he was making good money. And then he probably saw other people scaling faster than him and started to go, oh, I need to scale. But did he? Well, he's actually worse off for scaling faster now. He's losing money, right? So this is why I haven't built another agency after selling mine. Okay, I have a business now. It provides impact, cash flow, freedom. I'm pretty happy with those 3. Okay, it's going to get me to my why. Okay, I think it's really important at every stage of the journey because there's always shiny objects. When you're starting a business like this, you're seeing all the other types of business models. You're thinking, is this the best one for me? Once you start it and you get to 5K a month, trust me, another set of shiny objects. All right, there's going to be, you know, deals coming your way left, right, and center. And they're going to be different opportunities. You're going to have clients say, hey, do you want to become a partner in our business? Take a percentage and get hands-on. You're going to have, if you have a personal brand, you're going to have businesses come and want to do brand deals. And maybe we can partner with you. Maybe it makes sense. But oftentimes it doesn't. Okay. So just make sure you know your why, guys. Again, if you're in the program, you know this, the manifesto is there. We want you to go back on that. But also you might need to update it. Because again, when you start and you write that out, you know, the goal might be 2K a month. Yeah, it might change. You might get to 1K a month and go, fuck it, I got a bigger goal now. You got to update it, right? But make sure you have that at any time, a guide, a reference. Where am I going? What am I doing? Why am I doing this for? I find without that, you just get confused. You get confused, you drag into other people's goals and you're doing this for you. You're not doing it for me. You know, you're not doing it for anybody else. It's for you, okay? So tactical, I want to get tactical, right? So 2 million follower blueprints. This is going to be useful for those of you doing content, if you plan to do a personal brand, or if you have clients for social media management. Those that are doing like ads and email marketing might need to switch off for maybe 10 minutes. All right. So I've gained over 2 million followers for myself and clients, and we're talking about YouTube, we're talking about TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. So kind of the main social media platforms that we all use. So a lot of people I mentor now struggle with confidence, and that's their, yes, of course, as we all have, you're going to have a lack of confidence sometimes in yourself. But a lot of times it's the confidence in your ability to get results for your potential clients, right? Sure, we've all felt that. What if I get the clients and I can't fucking deliver? Like, what if I get into their page and I don't grow the page? That's the real fear. And it's a very small fear, but it has a massive impact, because the amount of people I know that have been at this for, a very long time, and this still holds them back. Okay? There's others in the program that definitely don't struggle with this, and I see they can kind of just fucking push past it and just get in straight away. And they like how I'm doing this event. They kind of figure things out on the fly, on the go. And people who can do that naturally have a bit of an advantage, but this is something you can learn. This is not a thing you're either with it or you're not. You can learn this. You can learn to push through. So in terms of tactical tips for you guys, number one is to post on multiple platforms. This is just a visual example. So that's on the left, the post on TikTok with 13K views. And then we have a video on the right on Instagram, the exact fucking video. Literally downloaded the video from the TikTok, and you'll see it's got 20x the views, okay? 360K on Instagram. Another example, we've got 69K on the left, 649K on the right. We've got 16K on the left, 2.5 mil on the right. No change, exact same video, like literally, all right? Just downloaded, reposted. So that's the first tip I have for you, is to do that. So if you have a client, right, let's say they're paying you for Instagram. If you're struggling to get results with them, something that I would look at doing is offering to them, hey, look, I'll post on your TikTok as well for free. You're not doing any really extra work, okay? You just got to post it each day. The video's done. You've already made it for Instagram. Let's just post on a new platform. I wouldn't do this for free for all my clients, but the client that is paying you, you're struggling to get results, you really want to get them results, go the extra mile, do this. It will take an extra 2 minutes a day to post that video on a second platform, but this is the reality, okay? If I had just posted this video on TikTok and got my 13K views, I might have gone, that concept doesn't really work. Post on a different platform, it worked. This isn't going to happen every time, okay? There's times I post on, let's say TikTok gets 10K, I post on Instagram, it gets 1K, okay? So it's going to happen the inverse, but my theory here is just you're entering the lottery more times. Like you bought the ticket, you already have it, okay? So instead of just being on one platform, maybe post on another, okay? You could do this, of course, on Facebook, you do it on LinkedIn, all channels, YouTube Shorts even, right? Again, draw the line. You can't do it for free for all your clients, right? But again, those that are struggling, you really got to boost them up. You could do this. For those that are working, they're happy with your service. Could you upsell this as an extra 100 to 300 a month? Yeah, happy days. If they're very happy with the current results, this is just a way of, we've got to fire more fuel to the fire, right? Because it's clearly working. And so that for me works really well. And I'm sure some of you have seen this. We repost on the same platform as well. So if I have a video on Instagram, because I post 3 times a day on there, if it gets above 5K views, that's my little benchmark. Cool, we'll repost it. Not right away, but maybe 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the line. What we'll do then as well is we'll put that on a spreadsheet. Okay, so let's say probably one out of every 3 posts we do gets over 5K, and then some of them go to way above that. We'll put it on the list to repost maybe a month, 2, 3 months down the line. But what we're also going to do is we're going to put that on the sheet to remake it, which I'm going to touch on in a minute. Not redo the whole video, right? But we're going to just edit little parts of it, tweak it a little bit. Cool. Next thing is trial reels on Instagram. Okay, so I know some of you actually have talked to me about this already today. So for trial reels, I would definitely recommend you use it first off. It's not on every account, okay? So you're gonna have to check on your account, but when you're posting, before you post, there should be like a little option to toggle it on or off. So very simple rundown how it works. Essentially, once you tick that, it'll post a video not to your followers, but to just random people that, like, the algorithm thinks people they think are gonna like your content. Once it does that, you can set it to then automatically post to your main feed if it hits a certain number of views. So again, based on their algorithm, they'll decide, did it perform better than your average video? If so, it'll post to your main feed. I don't use it that way. I just post 3 times on the feed anyway. So trial reels, we post 6 to 9 a day extra. And that's purely just reposted content. Because it's content that's already worked, it's already gotten some views. Again, lottery ticket, right? Like, it's there. It's free views, basically. It's already there. We may as well push it. So you'll see this is just a screenshot I had from during the week. Like, all of those new followers were from trial reels. It literally tells you. So if you get a follower who saw a certain video, it'll tell you, like, from your reel. Because this is trial reel, it tells us. It identifies specifically they came from it. So look, per month, I'd estimate maybe 300, 400, 500 extra followers on Instagram for that. I don't post these myself. I have a VA on $3 an hour, so he does it each day. If you do the math, I might pay him say maybe $30, $40 a month to do this. But if that gets me 400 new followers, that's very worth the money, like very worth the money. Okay. So very easy to do this. The trial reels, how I'd approach it is number one, just repost your best performers. So again, you can do what I do, have a spreadsheet, track when a video gets above average views for me over 5K, put it on the sheet, and then that's it. Just put I just do like a really basic spreadsheet. So I have the dates and I'll just build it out for like 2 months ahead of time. So a video today that works well, we'll just put on the list for November, December, happy days. Probably the exact same video, same caption, everything the same. Nothing has changed. Copy and paste on the spreadsheet, and then my VA just posts. Okay, so happy days. With this, don't be afraid of volume, but also don't do 50 a day. Okay, like there is a limit. Genuinely, there's a limit. The guy I follow, and he put up a notification the other day that he got from Instagram, where it's like a full-on action ban because he's posting too many times. Okay, so don't do 50 a day. I'm doing 6 to 9 a day, no issues, no problems, happy days. Okay, so if you want to go with that, you could. So in terms of doing this, right? If you have a client, let's say they're paying for 1 post a day, so 30 posts over a month. Like, again, if they're not getting good results, I would probably post every video on the main feed, every video also on trial reels, and then any video out of the 30 that got any bit better views than the rest, I'd probably post on trial reels as well. So I might actually post 60, maybe 90 times a month for the client. But again, the work is done. The work is done. You've made the video, you've written the caption, you've posted it once. We may as well do it again. Now, I want to walk you through kind of how to recreate your best performers. So as I said, we repost the actual video. So we just download it using like Snaptick or SSSTick, if any of you have seen those. Just type in TikTok or Instagram downloader on your browser. You'll find loads. So that's the easiest. But then what I'll also do is recreate them as well. Okay. So for example, you can trim a segment out of it, which I'll walk you through here. So we turn a 60-second video into a 55-second video. All right. Maybe there's a little part, a thing I said, it's not that relevant. I can cut it out. Okay. Very easy. What that does now is it shows it's a whole new video, right? Like the file is actually a different video, right? So it's technically a different video. Would the algorithm maybe be able to pick up on it's a part of a different video? Maybe. But I've still had videos work very well with this. Okay. So like, for example, I had a video where, again, it got a certain amount of views. We reposted, got a certain amount of views. I did an edit, very small edit, and I got more views. Not rocket science. It's not guaranteed to work every time. Again, the idea here is it's just a lottery ticket. Okay. We got this ticket. This is just another entrance. So this is just a visual example for you. So that's a very basic talking to the camera video. We got little captions at the very bottom, as you can see. And then at the top, that's just what I call like the intro card, the text card. You see that white text, that'll disappear after maybe 3, 4, 5 seconds. It's more just like a hook to get people in. But that's a very easy way of recreating it. Because I could download the video, cut out 5 seconds, and then change the intro card. Okay. So I have a video on Instagram right now. It's working very well. And the title, like the intro card is this the biggest scam in Ireland? Question mark. All right. Very hooky, clickbaity. People go, what the hell is he talking about here? What's this scam? I've just redone that angle many times. Is this really the biggest scam in Ireland? For sure. All right. Like just very similar, but I know the angle works. I'm just changing it slightly. Or I could go completely different and have a completely different angle. No, there is a limit to how many times you can do this. Because for example, if I was to download this exact video and do it again, you'll notice that this obviously has like the text background, right? So if I put more text on top of that, there's obviously a limit, right? Because eventually you'll just have no space. You can't do anymore. You can't do this forever. You can do it a lot. So again, it doesn't take much extra work. And if a client is paying $1,000 a month for 20 pieces of content, yeah, again, this is what I would do. 20 times on the main feed, but I might do like 180 a month between trial reels, reposting on different platforms. Yeah, very easy thing to do. Just takes time, takes a bit of effort, a little bit of organization of setting up your spreadsheet, but very, very low hanging fruit, to be honest, guys. I want to also walk you through a content plan, because I know, again, my key with this whole presentation is the lack of confidence you might have of will I get results with my clients. So I'm trying to make sure that we can go through as much of this to make sure that you come out of this going, yeah, I have a little bit more confidence. Still got you're not going to be 100%, right? So you always got to have that leap of faith and just make the jump, but this should hopefully clear up a bit more. So this was a plan I did for Asael. Jordan will probably remember him back in the TikTok days. A fitness coach, well, a fitness business coach. So a business coach for fitness coaches, right? So I was walking him through a content plan for TikTok specifically. This would work for Instagram, okay? I don't think there's much of a difference. So each week for him, I was saying, look, we need to do 3 per week of each of these 4 types of content. So 3 times 4, 12 a week. So 1 to 2 a day, roughly. So number 1 was authority. Okay, so a type of content that screams out, this guy knows his shit. Because again, if he's a business coach for fitness coaches, and I'm a fitness coach and I see this guy, I need to know, like, why do I listen to him? There's other guys out there, right? So if you read the post, it says, I don't think people understand all it takes to build a 10K a month online fitness business is a laptop and Wi-Fi. So immediately upon seeing that, you would assume he makes 10K a month, right? Or else he probably wouldn't say it. So that's putting him immediately into an authority position. You go, he knows something I don't know. Hence, this positions him as that guy. So that's number 1. Now, don't get too focused on the format. That's a what we call text on screen video. So it's just a clip of him like fucking celebrating on a call or something, 3 or 4 seconds with a sound behind it and then the text on the screen. This could also be a talking to the camera video, being like, here's the 3 things that, a 5K a month fitness coach needs to know to make 20 grand a month, right? Again, because it's assuming there's something that the person doesn't know to get to that next level. So that's authority. Now, look, certain industries, it's going to look very different. If you're working with like a dog trainer, let's just say a dog product business, it's different, right? But this might lead into value content. So let's say dog treats, educational content around why the treats are better than normal treats, right? Again, it positions the brand as an authority. Like they know something I don't know. I should follow them. I should learn from them. That's 1. 2 is social proof. Okay, so obviously you have to be able to walk the walk and have results to back up what you're saying. Because if you just do the authority piece, then the doubt people have is, yeah, but like, can I actually get results? Has he helped anybody else get results? Okay. So for him, here we go. We got a screenshot of a result that one of his clients got. And then he says, when your client makes 2.8K in a single day for his online fitness business, people say it's impossible. Okay. So that's social proof. Viral is broad content. Okay. Content that really has nothing to do about fitness coaching, nothing to do about him being a business coach, but it gets people in. Some of you might have seen it with my Instagram. We talk sometimes about taxes, salaries, this kind of stuff. Am I a tax advisor? No. Do I have a business around that? No. But it gets people interested because I'm Irish. I'm talking about money. If you want to make more money, social media marketing. You see how there's like the link between it all. So viral, you need to have some of this because again, if it's just, hey, I'm the guy you should listen to, here's all my clients, where do we get the new people? We need to cast the net wide, right? We need people to come in. And it's going to take a while for them to warm up to who you are or your client and should they buy from your client. And that's important to know, of course, setting the expectation. We can't do this and in week 1 get clients. It's probably not going to happen. This is more of a long-term play, but this keeps your top of funnel filled. So your net at the top, got a lot of people coming in. So that's just one example for him. That video did get like 100K. So I know it worked. And again, if you were to dissect it, you would argue like, okay, it's about tips to boss up. Okay, if you want to boss up, like would a fitness coach want to boss up? Probably, right? So there is a link. It's not completely random. It's not like he's talking about politics or something very like distant to what he does. So there is a link because it's about improvement, getting better, bossing up. We've also got a lead gen post. Okay, he actually, I did this exact post and we just reworded it for him because it worked. So yeah, remember to make 100K a year, all you need is this amount per month. All you need is this number of clients. I'll show you how to do it. DM me. Okay, so that's lead gen. So the goal with that is, will it go viral? Maybe. That's not our goal. It might. If it does, great. If it gets views, fantastic. The goal of that video is people see it, who've already seen the viral video, they've seen the authority, they've seen the social proof, and then they go, okay, he has a thing that he can actually offer to me. Like the way I can learn directly from this guy. That's your lead gen. Okay. Again, imagine if you just posted this, people would just be like, this guy's selling all the time, every day. So it's got to be that blend. It's got to be that mix. But this is the content plan I would use. It's what I follow roughly on my page, what would work for someone in his situation. And if you are really kind of, again, struggling with that confidence of will I get results, take a photo of that, run through it, should get you to a good place. So a little bit more tactical on how we actually create videos that get views. So this is TikTok. This is why I really like, even if TikTok isn't going to be your main platform, it's a really good platform to post and test on because it gives you a lot of insights you don't get on other platforms, okay? So in the TikTok analytics for this video, which is 6 seconds in total, we can actually see by 2 seconds in, we have 67% of the viewers still watching. And then that just goes down and down till about 35, 40%, okay? This is really interesting. So what I've found is that if I have a video have 60% or more in the first 3 seconds, it's probably going to do well. If I have less than that, it'll probably do shit. That's what I found. So what can we take from that? Well, okay, first couple of seconds is what counts. So if I am not good in terms of in this video, the text I'm writing, is it not engaging enough? I need to work on that. Is it, you know, if it's a talking head video, like somebody talking to the camera, the edits, the cuts, the hook, what they say, that's what you need to focus on there. With a YouTube video, it's the exact same. I'm sure some of you have seen this. Netflix is the exact same. When you click a video, you know, the little trailer pops up. Like that's the first 2 seconds. That's the hook. Because if that's shit, you're not going to watch an hour movie, 2-hour movie, right? You're just going to go, all right, next one. It's the same with this. So we have to make sure we're looking into the analytics. So again, anything you can get above 60% in the first 3 seconds, pretty good sign. You know you're on the right track. Again, it's not about perfection. Not every video is going to hit that. Sometimes you post a video and it's great and it just doesn't hit, right? That's the name of the game, but that's why we repost. That's why we use trial reels. That's why we do all of this to maximize the lottery ticket that you already have. I'll give you all the slides of this later. Okay, I'm not going to click through each video here, but I will send this over if you want to have a look through. This is just to give you an idea of pattern interrupts. Okay, so for example, a lot of my videos is pattern interrupts in the first 1 to 2 seconds. So like the lighting might change. Very cringy. Some of them I look back and oh God, rough. But like literally me turning on and off a light switch. It's pretty cringy, but it works. Sitting down, standing up. So a clip where like it'll literally start and I sit down on a chair, on an office chair. And again, it works because it's an interrupt. You see it and you're like, what's happening? What's going to happen next? Yeah, I'm sure you've seen some wild ones of this. I've seen some guys do some interesting stuff. Yeah, ballsy stuff. Zooming in and out, right? If it's a talking head video like this, let's say pointing this way, easy one. Zoom in and out, pan a little bit to the side. Happy days. And triggering words, okay? So for example, if I was to open up a TikTok video with, okay, guys, so my name is Adam, and I think that if you want to grow on social media, you should post these 3 things. Nobody's really going to watch it, right? It's probably going to flop. But if I go, these are the only 3 things that you need to do to grow on social media, people are going to go, oh, fuck, what's this 3 things? Because I'm like calling them out. It's direct. It's you. Or stop doing these things if you want to grow on social media. It's more direct. It's more powerful. It's more engaging. And it's triggering, right? Because it triggers you immediately. You go, oh, fuck, he's speaking to me. Open and close loops. Okay, so this is something used in like books, movies, all of that, storytelling, right? We open the loop and we need to close the loop. So I'm sure you've seen, I get them a lot on TikTok, these kind of like long drawn out story videos. It could be someone just ranting, right? It sounds like they're ranting, but what they've actually done is strategically, they've opened the loop. Like it could be somebody talking about their experience in a grocery store. Very random, not a specific topic, but they open a loop with, you won't believe what I just saw on my trip. And then they tell the big old story. And you're like, what? When are we going to get to it? Right? That's an open and close loop. You start with a hook and then just don't close the loop until the end. But make sure you close the loop, because if you don't, people just get confused. They're like, why am I even here in the first place? And they'll just keep scrolling. But if you open the loop, it's actually an engaging loop for them in their business or just normal person. Make sure you close it. What this does is it builds suspense, and then it's just more likely that someone feels compelled to watch the video. Okay. So I'll do it sometimes where I'll do a student win video. So here's how Adam made $5,000 a month. And I mightn't say like exactly the strategy he used right away, but I'll try and add it in, throughout. Okay. So that someone can't get all the info in the first 3 seconds. They get the hook, they're latched in, they're like, all right, I'm invested now. But I might give the exact strategy he used to get clients at the end. So in the middle, I might explain he manages their pages. They pay $1,000 a month. He has all this other stuff going on, but he built this on the side. And the close is at the end. Like he gets his clients from referrals, word of mouth or whatever, right? So that is that. Last point I have for you guys, the most difficult, most impactful decision I've made running this current business is building a personal brand, as you can probably imagine, right? Because none of this exists without posting some content and having a personal brand. So the reason I wanted to put this in, this is not to say you need a personal brand. Okay, I think it's a good idea. If you're willing to do it and you're open to it, great, go for it. I don't see any negative to it, okay? But if you're seeing this going, hey, I'm in a job, I don't want to post about this, fine, no problem, okay? You don't need this. But you're going to have clients that have personal brands, okay? So it's good to still understand this, even if you're not going to do it yourself. So I want to give you guys just some of the insights in the blueprint, because this is a it's a very talked about topic, and I want to make sure you have some good insights to take away from this. So as you can probably tell from what we've looked at, consistency is very much the key, okay? It's not about one video a month, it's hundreds of videos a month. Again, maybe we're posting 1 a day, but we're reposting, we're putting out as many feelers as we can. Quality and quantity wins, Okay. So there's obviously that debate. Do we do quality? Do we do quantity? Try to do both. Simple as. You're going to have some content where it's more quantity. My text on screen videos, it's quantity, right? But it's also, you can say it's quality. But the more quality content is the very highly edited videos, right? You get your editor to make it and really step it up a notch. But get the balance, get the two. Let me just see. I just want to make sure that we have time. Yeah, we're good. Cool. So what's most easy is not always the best route. Okay. So for example, let's say you're building a personal brand and you've got, let's say you're in your head, you're like, okay, do I do YouTube? Do I do TikTok? Okay. You can obviously do both, right? But obviously, in terms of ease, TikTok is easier. It's shorter videos, it's easier to make. YouTube is more of an investment. You need your cameras, your setup, right? It's a bigger thing. But that doesn't always mean it's the best route. Is YouTube, if you're to compare TikTok and YouTube, right? YouTube, for say a business like mine where coaching is probably more impactful, right? Because if somebody watches a 10-minute video versus a 30-second Instagram video, no, they're more likely to buy, right? It's just they feel, they know you more, they trust you more. But for example, when I started this personal brand, I started with TikTok. So that's where I got some decent results, proof of concept. I didn't blow up. I posted 3 times a day for 90 days and I had like maybe 1,000 followers, something like that. But it was enough to go, okay, there's some legs here. I need to just get better at it. Clearly not that good yet, but I can get there. But then I started posting on YouTube really shortly after. And YouTube was just a fucking slog, like a slog. Look, I'm in a better place with it now where I've got bigger audience there and videos get more views. But like I posted 3 times a week on YouTube, since I started it. So like for years, 3, 4, 5 years doing that. And I really didn't see any results with YouTube till about 1.5 years ago. So you're looking at maybe a 2-year period of doing all that extra effort with YouTube, but very, very little return. If I had taken that time that I was doing for the 3 YouTube videos and put it into TikTok, I'd say I would have blown up way more, because that had the legs, that's where I had the proof of concept. I don't regret the YouTube, but again, my point there is what's most easy is not always the best. Because I saw it as kind of like this easy thing of like, oh, I can rant on a YouTube video, but at TikTok, I need to be a bit more structured. It needs to have the hooks, open, close loops, etc. What you can be consistent at over a long-term horizon is the best. So if you hate talking to the camera, I still think you should do it and like learn the skill and just get used to it. But that's probably not where you need to put all the focus. Okay. So like text on screen videos, very easy to make. Anybody can do them. You don't even have to speak to the camera. You don't have to show your face. You can do it. I see guys where they do it where it's all like anonymous footage of them. You wouldn't know it's actually them. It might be a clip of them speaking to somebody, but it's from the back. So you can't actually see their head, right? So that's really key because again, if you hate talking to the camera and you say, I'm only going to do talking to the camera videos. And again, think of your client, right? Like your client, you're saying to them, you have to just do talking to the camera videos. If they really hate it, really don't like it, they're probably just not going to do it. And then they're probably going to leave you. You don't have a client. But if we can get them to do 2 a month of that and slowly do more and then get to 3 and then get to 4, but in the meantime, we do the text on screen or they have a podcast and we clip up their podcast. It's easier, right? So you need to make sure that what you can be more consistent at over the long-term horizon is what you focus on. If you start with something that's really difficult, like if you start a personal brand with YouTube, I think that's quite a tough one to start with. Like start with the easier platforms where it's less of a barrier that when you have it on your to-do list on a Friday, it's like record YouTube video. Because even me now, if I have that on my list, that's more of a YouTube video. But if it's hey, record 3 TikToks, I'm like, fuck it, I can do that. Easy. Give the phone, pass it over. Happy days. Let's get it going. Now, I want to touch on the posting yourself online mindset, which I'll show you here in the next slide. And also just want to make sure that, again, you don't have to show your face. So if you do want to build a personal brand or you're a client that doesn't want to show their face, you can still do it. Again, you can do text on screen. You can do anonymous videos. You can do voiceovers and not show your face. Okay. So the wild west of social media. I get comments like this all the fucking time. 5'4" behavior. Facts. I agree, mate. Great stuff. Or trolls and like traders and fake accounts and shit like this. It's just part of the game. And again, you need to know, like, if you're going to start it, you're going to get these. Like, whatever flaw you have will be pointed out. Whether it's the way you speak, how you look, the person you're with, your camera quality, it doesn't matter. People will always pick on something, right? So it's just good to be aware of this because I think I knew this when I started, but then only when you first start getting those comments, you're like, oh, fuck. Because it's on your phone. They're speaking to you. And then you're thinking, oh, the other people that viewed my video can also see this comment. This is embarrassing. It's just part of it. You just got to go with it. So if, look, if you're not willing to deal with the hate comments and the spam and all of that, it's not for you because it is part of the game. Okay.
Guys, that is pretty much everything I wanted to touch on there. The last point is negativity. Okay, so you can actually encourage these people to comment because they will grow your account faster. So like, fucking come on in. You know what I mean? Tell me I'm 5'4". I'll take it on. Like, happy days. Dipstick, such shite. Like, I get comments like this on probably every TikTok video that does any way well. Like anything above maybe 5, 10K views. And it's really interesting because there's actually this one guy. He's been doing it for 3 years. I'm like, I respect the fucking hustle, man. Like nearly every video for 3 fucking years. Like, my man, fair play. You know what I mean? Recently, I've actually had people comment on my page saying my brother's name, asking questions about my brother, and it's just weird, right? So you're gonna get weird shit. It's gonna happen. I send it to my brother all the time, and he's like, "Fuck's sake, who is this idiot?" Because we think it's somebody local, because they're saying things that are, only you'd know if you knew us, kind of thing. It's like, it's part of the game. Just gotta rock with it. So if you want to start a personal brand, just gotta lean into this. Again, my best performing videos are controversial. They trigger, you know what I mean? They get people to hate you. Obviously, you got to get that balance. People got to like you as well and trust you. But yeah, a little bit of this is good. Don't delete them. Don't delete them. Some people would say delete them. I said don't. Get used to it. Part of it. For every one of them, there's 10 others that won't comment, but love you. Love your stuff. Think you're class. So happy days. That's what you're doing it for.
So there you have it. There is the talk. Hopefully you got some value from that. I'd love some feedback. If you have any feedback for me, please do leave it down below. If you're anyway interested in working with me, you probably know by now, if you've been on the channel, that there's a link in the description of the video where you can go and get more information about that. As always, I truly hope this was valuable, and I hope to see you in the next one.